Way back in Calistan way. Hey, hey. Used to be 16 lane. Used to be Juan Wayne. Used to be Nuevo Spain. Used to be Mexico. Used to be Navajo. Used to be Yippee-yay, I don't know. Anyway, that's a great song. I like, when I was on this trip, I like said something about hey, hey to my parents, and then I think it was that. I was like, oh, you gotta know where that comes from, because that's one of my favorite songs of all time, and it just is. It's a great song. So we went back to the hotel room and I played it for them, and my mom was like, well, what is that song about? And I looked it up on like Genius or whatever, and it's like, well, Frank Black says like Calistan. It says it's like kind of like Afghanistan or Turkmenistan or Kazakhstan or something like that. He's imagining like a dystopian version of California where it's like torn apart by war, like, you know, and completely desolate. It's like the Valley of Tar that once was LA. That's just what some people say. Hey, hey. Anyway, and I thought about that. I'm like, that's so interesting that like you didn't even wait to like, you know, ask me like, hey, what does that song even mean? You just assumed that I knew. You didn't even like stop to say like, oh, that's a good song, you know. And I'm just like, well, I wonder if that's like your generation. Like, I don't know. Do you always know what a song means right away? It was like, no. Like, my generation has the frickin' like WAP and like all this stupid stuff for pen, pineapple pen. And it's like your generation had like Cat Stevens and like I Am the Walrus and like all this incredible stuff. And like, did you stop to ask what the lyrics meant then? It's like, well, what does blowing in the wind mean? It's like the answer is blowing in the wind. Is there an answer? What is the answer? Come on. It's like people's lives depend on this. I don't know. Beach Bunny Bingo. Oh hell yeah. So now we get to the Little Mermaid level with Sebastian the Crab, and there was some, yeah, there were some crabs in Kirby's Dream Land 3, and when I saw them I was going like doop 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 doop. But now you get it. Now you get that the crabs in this game make that sound, and so that's why I was making that sound. I still like the sound that the turtles make, the ooh, ah, That's definitely a stock sound effect that I've heard in different games. Oh, that's our first wall that we've got stuck in. That's pretty exciting. First wall, first burp. Dude, I've been watching so much Nintendo Capri Sun, and I've been watching him for like, I think 9 years now, 9 years and counting, maybe 10, something crazy, but like at least 9. Ariel needs legs. It's a great Neil Cicierega video. I highly recommend it. Wait, really? That was a short-ass level. Anyway. Marinated Rabbit. I've been watching Nintendo Capri Sun play Ace Attorney Investigations 2. And oh yeah, I just love watching those games. Like, the Ace Attorney series really sucks you in. And it's like fun to try to figure it out on your own while you're watching them figure it out, and I don't freaking know. And the music is good. And the last case that I was watching is where it's like Miles Edgeworth is trying to figure it out in the future, and then his father, in the present, and his father Gregory is trying to figure it out in the past. It's like the two parts of the case come together, and it's with like the pastry competition and everything, and the ice sculptures, and that was crazy. That was pretty cool. I didn't think, I was like, oh, like whatever. It's like pastry. It's like sweet things. It's like, it's not cool. It's like all the cases are about these silly things like circuses and and prisons where they have pet animals. It's like, seriously, but it's hard to take seriously sometimes. But then, like, when you learn more about the character's backstory and just like the tragedies that like have motivated them to, I don't know. So just cuts off thought with I don't know immediately. Anyway, this is the water level. This is one of my favorite songs in the game, except I've probably talked over it already. And it's kind of awful and hilarious how all the sounds are like slowed down extremely when they're underwater. It's like not a natural amount. It's like the missiles are really deep pitched. When Jazz screams, it's like instead of his normal voice, which is like, hey! The coins are really deep. Oh. Yeah, and I called it Juz Cook. I saved my file Juz Cook because that's basically why I ended up playing this game, is because I heard the music from Jackrabbit 1 and 2 in his hack Invictus, which is one of the greatest Super Mario World Kaizo ROM hacks ever made. I highly recommend anybody who's watching this video and has not watched a full playthrough of Invictus to stop what they're doing and go watch Invictus. And a lot of the music in that, also I don't like this boss, and I hate having to use these timer bombs against it, like what the heck? I hate having to use timer bombs against boss. Like, I'd rather use gun. I want to use gun. I don't want to use this stupid, like, thing that stays in one place. Yeah, this boss, I think he has, like, he has some weird name, like Uterus or something. I hope it's not that. And the music used... Also, I hate how far away this checkpoint is from the boss. Like, seriously, you have to go through, like, a whole screen and a half before you can get to the boss. And I'm just waiting here because I'm not sure if there's a crab behind the wall, which there is, and I'm trying to conserve my hits because there's only 5. It's like Kirby's Adventure. There's only 6 hits, which is better than a Mario game, but still, it's like, yeah, 6 hits is plenty. Oh, well, this game has 5, but whatever, you know what I'm saying. I actually love this boss theme. I think the other one is kind of annoying. Like, you hear it so often with the synth, like the it kind of gets a little bit annoying. This one, like, goes so hard. It's got, like, this metal bass line and these power chords. I wish this boss theme played more often. I think this one is saved as boss fight 1, and the other one is saved as boss fight 2, but you actually hear the other one first. You hear it more often. And I wish they had played that one for the final boss instead of the normal one. In fact, they don't have a special song for the final boss, which is really disappointing in my opinion. A Diamondist Forever. Diamondist, along with Caritas and Tube Electric, are not Mermaid. Levels that come back from the first game, which I have not played. But from what I can tell, it looks kind of inferior to this one, but it could be a fun romp still. After I died in this level, I actually lost the music, so I went on YouTube and recorded the music so I could edit it in so that there wouldn't be a lot of dead air. And like all the comments were like, Diamondus is Diamondus Vinny. Diamondus in the original game was easier than Diamondus in this game because of all the darn bees. And like, there's a lot of bees in this level, and the bees home in on you. They're a little bit like the dragonflies in the other level, but they're just much more annoying for whatever reason. And here you can push the spring over to get the one. Who cares? There's so many bees. Darn it. Darn it, why the bees? That's gotta hurt. But yeah, every comment was like, oh my god, I hate bees. The bees give me PTSD. And like, yeah. Oh my god. I was at camp and like there was this like competition where like people had to eat these huge things of watermelon, and then they had and then I was teaching like the music theater, so it was a bunch of girls like all singing stuff, and one of them was like, oh, I don't want to sing right after I ate all that watermelon and my stomach hurts and I'm gonna have PTSD. And like I was trying to come up with something funny like with watermelon and PTSD, and I came up with post-traumatic seedless disorder, because like seedless watermelon. Anyway, it was really dumb and I didn't say it out loud because it was too dumb. Vini, yeah, there's a song about bees in Mario Galaxy Repainted, which is a Vinny game made famous by Vinny. 14 karat, boo! Why didn't you use that in the other level? The other level was Keratis. Right? We saw Keratis first. That was like the second level. Right after Jazz Castle. Anyway. Ted Lasso is a good show. Oh, speaking of good shows, me and my parents finished watching Mysterious Benedict Society, which is so cool. Like I read that book was probably in like fourth grade maybe. I think it was fourth. And dude, that show was like so pretty. Like the setting, the colors. I'm like a big aesthetics guy, and I love Wes Anderson's movies, not only because they're really smart, but they just have such beautiful colors. They're like looking at a cake. That is how I will describe it. I like looking at a beautiful painting. Anyway. And like also Tony Hale. I haven't watched Arrested Development, but it makes me want to, because Tony Hale is freaking fantastic in Mysterious Benedict Society. So yeah, it just made me happy that you know, the film and TV industry is actually doing stuff that I care about. Mom really wants me to watch Sweet Tooth because she watched it, and it's interesting. I was in like the Old Forge General Store in the Adirondacks, and I saw a copy of the graphic novel of Sweet Tooth, and I was like, this looks so like edgy, and I didn't expect it to look like this from seeing the show. Also, I realized the father was played by Will Forte, and so I played my mom the clip from the Tim and Eric of Fortin with Will. Where he's like, okay kids, we're gonna make forts, and then he just starts ranting about his father. It's like, this is just like my father. Sorry, I wet my pants when I think about my father. Don't flush the toilet, I wanna see those logs. And I was like, at that point I was like, why did I show this to my parents? And they were just, I was like cracking up, and they were like, that's awful. And I'm like, yeah, the humor these days is something that is not easy to understand, even for me. And this is the end of the level coming up, so I'm gonna say goodbye and thank you and have a great day. Bye bye.